hello, people of our future. Whatever, that's too corny. Anyway, so today we're going to be learning about engineering. One of my favorite things to do, but it doesn't have to be yours because who cares? Anyway, we can go on by looking at our first lesson. So today we're going to be learning about gears, hydraulics, inclined planes, levers, pulleys, and the wheel and axle. I gotta add this and here. My bad, I'm not that great. Well, I am great, but yeah. Don't bother me. Okay, so this is all basic engineering. And this, if you might think, how is hydraulics basic engineering? And inclined planes, it sounds so hard. Well, it's not that hard. It's very basic, and you can figure it out as long as you bear with me and finish the course. So, let's start. We're gonna work on gears. So every lesson we'll do two things until we're done essentially. These lessons will be about 3 to 7 minutes even. Or it might be longer if I say it's gonna be longer. Because I said so. So gears work using anything that can spin it, including a motor. Right? Including a motor. A motor uses electromagnetism, which is not that hard, but you'll be learning that later. So, the way to use gears is not by themselves. Instead, they can be used in ratios, actually. For example, a ratio is 2 to 7. A ratio is something in math I kind of forgot. But a ratio is a 2 to 7, so we could even check later. So, we could check. We can do this, and then define it. And ratios is a quantitative relation between two amounts, showing the number of times a value contains or is contained. The ratio of computers to students is now 2 to 1. So basically, instead, a 1:8 ratio is the better of my example. But gear ratios are different from normal ratios. It's when two gears are next to each other, and these are actually used to move at different speeds. It's not without changing the motor speed or gear, and it can be used to make it smaller. So, let's say if you were to run, basically, let me show you. So I'm gonna insert some shapes, right? If I were to insert this circle, and I'm gonna control, and I have this circle, right? Let's imagine these are, gears, right? Bear with me. If you go like this, if you spin this will spin really fast because it has less surface area than this. So it'll go faster because it has less distance to cover to do a full rotation. But if you spin this instead, this has a larger surface area and a larger distance to cover, so this won't move it as far, and this will always get more rotations because it has less distance to rotate. So, that's what a gear ratio is. But there's another gear ratio I love to use. It's called, let me say, so it's basically, I like to call it the double gear ratio. Bear with me, I'm trying to make, yeah. So let's assume this is facing away, right? This is facing towards us. So let's imagine that, and then I'm gonna even add a line for that. So look, imagine this is facing us. If we spin this, these locks will work together, and this will spin this way. It'll spin this the way, so it's gonna go like this way, if you can see my mouse. If you can't, yeah, I don't think you're seeing this, right? So this will spin this way because these locks connect to each other, and they spin. When this spins, and you can do it vice versa. So you don't have to have some very complicated way to literally spin it the other way easily. hard. Well, easily, you can just use that method, a gear ratio. To finish up, gears are a main part of engineering and convey your creativity and design to actually make something, Sherlock. Yes, why I say convey your creativity in design is to actually say that you can almost create a ton of stuff with gears, and it's super, and there's a bunch of things. So you can almost create anything with all aspects of engineering, but for now, we are just on basic engineering. Next, we're going to talk about inclined planes. Inclined planes are very simple. They are like a ramp. So basically, an inclined plane is something that's inclined up or down, which decreases work. To say work is effort and distance. So effort is how much effort you put into it, and distance is how much distance you move doing it. So a ramp decreases effort by using distance. So the more distance there is, the less effort there is. So that's what an inclined plane does. Instead of like trying to jump up, they'll make a short giant burst of effort. But yet otherwise, the working with an inclined plane, you can use wheelbarrows and other things with wheels to help furthermore, and there'll be less effort but distance, so you can do more work theoretically. Well, thank you for watching. I will see you in the next lesson. Goodbye. Kuda.